thanks to my subscribers who commented and gave me these suggestions to try. So I'm going to start by buttering the pans, and I'm going to put peanut butter in part of it and leave part of it just chocolate. So I'm going to do 2 small pans instead of 1 larger one. So what I'm going to do is try something new. I'm going to use the recipe from the Hershey's Cocoa package, the old-fashioned Hershey's Cocoa recipe that I've already done a video on. But I'm going to make some changes to it that have been suggested by some of my subscribers. So this is what we're going to do. Instead of 3 cups of granulated sugar, I'm going to do 1.5 cups of granulated sugar and 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. That was one suggestion that I had. Okay, so that's 1. And 1/2 cups of powdered sugar. And I'm going to go ahead and put in the 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Just a pinch, really. And I'm going to do 2/3 cup of Hershey's Cocoa. And now, instead of using 1.5 cups of milk, the suggestion was to use whipping cream or heavy cream. And right here before the holidays, the store I went into didn't have whipping cream. They were out, so I got 1/2 and 1/2. So I'm going to use 1.5 cups of 1/2 and 1/2. Now I'm going to turn the burner on. And give this a good stir and let it start cooking. And I'm going to cook it to the soft ball stage. I don't have my candy thermometer with me. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way with a cup of water and drop the fudge into it when it's cooked for about 30 minutes. And when it gets to the soft ball stage. Fudge is all mixed up very well. And it's at a full rolling ball. So I'm not going to stir it very much now until it's almost ready. I'm going to check the fudge now. I'm just going to stir a little bit around the edges, once through it, and then I'm going to shake the spoon off a little bit. And I have a cup of tap water here, cool water. And I'm going to drop this in. Okay, it's getting very close. I don't know if you can see this or not. but it's beginning to hold together when you drop it down into the water. When it just scatters apart and goes all over the bottom of the cup, you know it's not ready. But this is getting close. It's not the soft ball stage yet, but it's getting very close. And when you're using this method to test whether or not the fudge is done, you have to rinse your cup out and get fresh water every time you check it, because you need to be dropping it into cool water and not water that's already been heated up by having the fudge dropped into it. Okay, so this is the soft ball stage. It kind of forms little balls, and if you pick it up with your fingers, pour the water off and pick it up, it sticks together. So I'm going to turn the fire out from under the pot and drop a half a stick of butter. And you can use margarine, but I like to use butter. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm really excited because this is my homemade vanilla extract and I haven't used any yet. So we're going to see. Oh my, that smells good. We're going to see how it tastes. So I'm going to put a teaspoonful in. And I'm going to kind of chop the butter up so that it melts faster. That's another thing different from the original recipe. I'm not going to let it cool before I pour it into the pan. I'm going to go ahead and stir the butter and vanilla extract up as quickly as I can get the butter to melt. And add the other ingredients and go ahead and pour it into the pan. I'm going to pour about 3/4 of a cup of chopped pecans into our fudge, into the whole thing. And stir that up. Now I'm going to go ahead and pour about half of it into one of the pans. And set it aside to let it cool. And I'm going to take the rest of it and add about 1/3 of a cup of peanut butter to it. I'm going to guesstimate this. I'm going to put 2 big heaping teaspoonfuls because one of my sons likes peanut butter fudge. Okay, now I'm going to pour the peanut butter fudge into the other pan. Okay, so I'll just leave that one sitting here to cool. Now when these cool, it'll probably be overnight before I check them. So we'll see how it turns out and how our experiments have worked. If you found this helpful, please like and share. I was beginning to think I wasn't going to have any of the fudge left to show you. I ended up with 4 pieces left. It was very good. If you recall, I substituted, instead of 3 cups of granulated sugar, I used 1½ cups of granulated sugar and 1½ cups of powdered sugar. And instead of using whole milk, I used half and half. And instead of stirring it until it cooled and then pouring into the dish, as soon as I got the butter melted and the butter and the vanilla extract mixed up very well, then I went ahead and while it was still hot and poured it into the pan. Now this is more the grainy kind of fudge. It's not as smooth as if you follow the recipe exactly and you don't stir after it comes to a boil and then you beat it with a wooden spoon until it is almost completely cool. But it's very good, and for those of us fudge lovers who like the grainy type of fudge, this was a very successful test. But the changes I made to the ingredients, it just turned out fabulous. It's really good, very rich and very good. So I would say that overall, even though I needed to cook it about 2 more minutes, it's not quite as firm as it should be. It is delicious and my family really enjoyed it. So thanks for stopping by.